Today I'm reviewing your zombie gameplay, from high round strategies and round 100 attempts, to how not to handle Zursas, and ending it all with an incredibly impressive Veytharion boss fight at round 100, all in an effort to make you a more confident and competent zombie player. Now, if you want me to react to your zombie gameplay, be sure to join the Discord with the link in the description, and put a YouTube link in the Zombie Clips reaction and review channel. And as you're about to see, the higher quality, the better. Our first gameplay here comes from Mad Dog. He says that he always has trouble making it past the 60s. It is worth mentioning we are in tier 3 cursed. We got golden armor, Pack-a-Punch tier 4, and ultra rarity, of course. But if we pause here, we could see we are running the Samantha's Drawing Relic, which means that every single round your weapon is going to switch. The round start delay is cut down by 75%, no self-revives, perk costs never decrease, and the salvage drop rate is halved. These are by no means terrible relics, especially if you don't have other relics, but I would highly recommend as a sleeper relic that's really good, even for high rounds, the Bus Relic. It turns on enemy health regeneration, which sounds really bad, but you've got Ultra Pack-a-Punch 4 weapons, and if you had that instead of Samantha's Drawing or even the salvage drop rate, this gameplay or this game might feel a little bit more satisfying or a little bit more fun for you, because you would either have salvage, you might have self-revives, you might have your own weapon that you want to use, even though the Sam's Drawing can be pretty fun. Your guns kill so fast, as you can see right here. We are on round 59 with Pack-a-Punch tier 4 and ultra rarity weapons. These weapons are actually going to perform fairly similarly than if they were to be in the regular mode with legendary triple Pack-a-Punch at round like 40 or something. Because we're like 25 rounds away from the health cap of Cursed, these Pack 4 ultra rarity weapons are going to be doing a lot of good work, and you can see that here in the gameplay. They are destroying zombies, especially with SMGs in that bonus damage range. But one of the things I'm sure you all can point out right away, I always recommend increasing your field of view when playing zombies. With the default field of view of I think like 80 or 90 or something, you cannot see beside you very easily, especially when aiming down sights. So if you're playing zombies, one of the most important things is looking to your left, looking to your right, even if it's out of the corner of your eye, and having a much higher field of view is going to help out greatly with that, especially with this style of gameplay here, because as you can see, throughout this entire gameplay, if you notice in the background, your movement is fantastic. I do like when you are focused on moving around the enemies, you can do so fairly efficiently, apart from running back into them that we just saw right there. But a lot of times, especially with our first episode, I mentioned something about the movement and trying to avoid zombies, and I don't think that's your problem. Now, someone else might look at this and be like, what are you talking about, Donuts? He's taking a bunch of unnecessary hits like there, right there. Like, the movement needs to be better. And that's definitely one way of seeing it, except you're sliding around when you're actively trying to avoid zombies. You're doing so successfully. There's a piece that you're missing, though. And hopefully that you can see it here when I point it out to you. You are so hyper-focused, in my opinion, you are hyper-focused on just dealing damage to zombies. I mean, look at that. See, you jumped over that, sliding into zombies. You got, I think, PhD slider, which is pretty good. But you are so, like, eager to just shoot zombies. I love the distraction mask. I do really like that. So, and that works well for your style here, because you just want to shoot all the time here. And I highly encourage you to slow things down. I apologize if this is just basic zombie information that people don't know, or if I feel like I'm talking down to you. I'm really trying not to. But if you didn't know, there is a limit to how many zombies can be spawned in at a single time during the game. And I believe for Black Ops 7, it is limited to 40 zombies at a time, meaning that if you didn't kill a single zombie and you let all of them spawn in, you would have a horde of 40 zombies. And then you wouldn't have any other zombies spawn in. That would be your 40. It would have one group until you started killing them. However, when you do what you're doing here in this gameplay and you're ultra aggressive, you're killing zombies even as they're spawning in, which might seem really efficient, and you know, statistically it may be. I believe you lose a huge aspect of control. When I think of training zombies, I think of training zombies in two very unique unique periods of time, I guess. The first period of time is gathering of the zombies, letting the zombies spawn in, training around them, getting them into a group of zombies. And then the second phase, I guess that maybe that's a better way of saying it, the second phase of training zombies is what you love to do right here, and it's just kill zombies, shoot, shoot, shoot. But when you're shooting zombies, you need to be very cognizant and aware that as you kill zombies, they're going to be spawning in behind you, around you, in front of you, all of these things. And if you sit here kind of like you're doing, and you're just killing zombies and trying to kill them as fast as possible, they are going to respawn because you're killing them. So of course that cap is never going to get reached if you're constantly at 35 zombies, you kill 2, those 2 spawn back in. 37, you kill 2, you never reach that 40 zombie cap, and you never slow things down. Right here is actually a really good part of this gameplay, because I think you're killing a little bit slower here, but now there's not a lot of zombies spawning in because you've got a lot of zombies in this group over here. There's a couple here. Obviously you keep killing as much, and you got brain rot too, but we've got a lot of zombies here. So it's not the worst decision to start shooting them, but part of a good strategy, part of a good training strategy is having a consistent area that's safe for you to kill the zombies. I believe one of the videos I saw back in the day called them like shooting lanes. You had to have good shooting lanes. And here we just have our last ultra rarity upgrade here. So we did throw a monkey bomb. That's all good. But you'll notice again, as we start spawning in these zombies, a fresh horde here, we're just gonna like just be so obsessed with shooting. Here we are, and look, that was a beautiful wall jump. So that's why I'm saying it's not your movement, it's not the fact that you can't dodge zombies. And I imagine, and look at that, okay, look at that decision making right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You have a brilliant group of zombies, and they're all packed up right here, right? But then when you feel a little bit overwhelmed, hey, I'm taking a couple hits, I kind of want to run away for a little bit, instead of doing what I would do, and of course you don't have to do what I would do, but I would try to run to the left here and keep training them that way. I would keep training them over there. But what you do is you go to the right side. Now, maybe on around 30, 40, maybe 50, well, probably before 50, that might be okay. But with super sprinters and how fast they are, going to the right here is going to cause unnecessary damage. You want to elongate these hordes, and then you go right back into shooting, even though you had just shot a whole bunch of them. And look at that, going back into the train, lots of bad decision making there, in my opinion. You just wasted all of your armor just so focused on killing all of these zombies. And I realized that I believe you do this a couple times. I'm not sure if you're going to do it here, but I believe you go to the crafting table to buy more armor. And we'll get back to that because I do want to point out here, look at that. That's very, very overwhelming here. You're trying to wall jump out of there. Good use of Ether Shroud. Again, that lack of, I want to say, consistency or like a solid strategy that you do over and over again, I think that's why you got a little bit overwhelmed there. I will say, doing this on around 62, this hold the location, not the best idea, but remember, we're like 20 rounds away from health cap, so this might be similar to doing this at like round 40 or something, even though I still don't think it's the best idea here because you've got super sprinters and everything. You gave it your best shot, but that is definitely not the decision I would make, especially because even though you could use some more perma perks, you went down, so that's going to cost you those other perks. So you've got perma quick revive, perma jug, at least I would be happy with that. But again, of course, do what you feel like, even though this did absolutely cost you. I do like the use of the disciple injection here, but let's move on. Here we are a couple rounds ahead. We're at the start of the round, and again, same sort of thing. As soon as the zombies are spawning in, you were just trying to shoot them in it, and that wasn't just an ammo mod proc. You're still actively shooting them all the time. So again, like I said before, slow down a little bit, let those zombies spawn in, let them gather up in a nice little horde, so that way you can shoot from a safe distance. Because look at how overwhelmed you get right here, right? Very overwhelming, all because those zombies are constantly spawning in and you're not gathering them up to make it safe. When all of the zombies are gathered together, the dangerous area of the map is all condensed around the horde, as opposed to what you're trying to do now with all of the zombies spawning in all the time. By the way, look at that wall jump. You didn't need to throw that monkey bomb. bomb. That was a beautiful wall jump. See, look at this right here. This is a great example. And this is a weird way of thinking about it, but I've been thinking about a future video here. But when you train up the entire horde, imagine this was all 40 zombies in this one area. That means the only danger of you getting hit is just getting close to this one singular group of zombies. When you kill all of the zombies super quickly, they all start spawning in sporadically, which means that it makes a larger area of the map more dangerous because you've got zombies littered everywhere. And so the art of training is trying to dodge those zombies and condense them all into one clean horde that you can shoot individually. Or I guess not individually, as a group, just like that, right? That as a group is great. Again, making that decision to come back, I feel like you're panicking a little bit here. You're really stressed, you're really nervous because, oh my goodness, I'm trying to kill zombies as fast as I can. They keep respawning over here. Oh my goodness, I'm just so overwhelmed. And it's ironic, but I really do think slowing down would help you a ton. And this is something I wanted to point out. You go after armor, right? I believe you go after armor. And this applies to more than just this situation I'm about to point out, but you buy a whole bunch of armor, you're topped up here, and then, oh, I forgot to buy a kill streak. So you're going to buy that, and look at this. Now we have no armor again. Why is that? Because we have the Vulture Aid Augment Armormatic. Now, it probably kept you alive because you were taking a lot of damage, but again, that was a big mistake in terms of decision making. You had 2 monkey bombs there, so you could have used a monkey bomb or an ether shroud to go to the crafting table and buy that dog. Plus, this dog isn't really gonna save you all that much. It's not gonna do that much for you, but I imagine you're just thinking about, hey, I need as many things to kill zombies as quickly as possible to get through these rounds as possible, but I think that's the wrong strategy. And as you can see here, you're overwhelmed, you're getting hit by zombies, and you're still shooting them. I apologize if I'm harping on this point too much because, oh, by the way, shout out here, you can resupply from the dog. I love that. That's so great. But I'm harping on that a lot because I think if you switch that one thing, look at that wall jump. You've got so many great skills in terms of zombies. It's this decision making and this big picture thing that you need to get through your head. And I think this is something that modern zombies has really created because for the first 30 rounds, you can play like this and survive. The guns are strong. I mean, the zombies are more numerous, I guess, but the guns are so strong that it allows players to play like this. And I think we've lost a huge important aspect about training because of that. But first, I do want to see how you go down here because I think your gun doesn't stop shooting here. I think you look at that. You're over here. And again, I apologize. This is too much, but you're shooting. You got the mask of distraction. You're trying to run, reload, shoot. You're not even taking time to breathe. You're not, you're going back to the horde, back to this. It's like you're addicted. You're addicted to just shooting the zombies and trying to get as close to them as possible. But as you can see, does not work out. You got to respect the zombies. You got to respect them. And then I think that was your last equivalent. Obviously, you're running no self-revives here. So again, really, really close to these zombies. And then you go down and your equivalent exchange is over, I believe. And unfortunately, that's it. And with that being said, I want to show you the complete opposite of this. But like I said, we're going from one extreme to another. And I apologize. Shout out whoever's gameplay this is. This is also 1440p gameplay. So thank you so much. It looks so good. And perhaps this is a bit hyperbole, but when I first saw this, my first impression of this gameplay was that not that you were being passive, because you're not being passive here. You're doing a lot of good things and you're going to wall jump and bounce a bunch, but it almost seems as though the main thing that I have is that it seems as though it doesn't look like you have like a set training strategy. Just like our first player, your movement is really good. Like I said, you're going to be wall bouncing, sliding into people. Your movement is not an issue. However, what I do think is going to at least slow you down a little bit or kind of get in the way of your enjoyment is that this strategy seems very amorphic, very not inconsistent, but inconsistent in terms of what you do and where you go. See, we're up on this truck, we're going to dolphin dive here. We're going to slide through this. Like I said, your movement's pretty good. We're going over here and then we're going over here again. And then we're going to slide. We're going to let that brain rot zombie kill a bunch of stuff. We're going to go around here and then we're gonna jump back up on the truck and then jump back off the truck. So, you know, this is fine. We're jumping on this truck, we're PhD diving off of here. In terms of like efficiency, that's not like super efficient. What you're doing here and what you do can further on into this video, I think is a little bit better. You could see I love that right there, a very nice long back pedal once you have all of the zombies all hoarded up. But you want to find different areas or different spaces within this training strategy where you could do that consistently and safely. And this right here is what I found. I love the sliding to get ahead of the zombies and then shooting a little bit there. I love that. Then coming around over here. I think, I mean, obviously you guys have seen me. I like to go to the left of the truck and shoot. Going to the right of the truck here, obviously, this might be something that I try here because that feels like a lot longer time to shoot them, and then you could come back over here and shoot them like that. This is what I would do all the time. What you just did right there, that loop, almost feels safer than what I do. But then again, you start kind of like improvising here. Like it's so weird. And then you come back over here, you do that. As boring as it sounds, I do like circle strategies in terms of doing the same thing over and over again, because here now you're going this other direction. Now you're going in counterclockwise, but now you're going to cut back over here and shoot in this direction, but you're not going towards the corner of the garage. Now you're going over here. And we're back to shooting here. So none of this is what I would call wrong. All of this is very, very good. You could tell you were taking much less damage than the previous person, all because you're actually running away from zombies. You're giving them distance, you're respecting them, and you're keeping your area around you safer than that other person was. I think something we can learn from this too, if you are in a bad situation, especially here on Paradox in the past version of Nuketown, it is really safe to jump on top of all of these things because zombies need to jump up there. So you can go up here, jump over here, and this is a very safe way, especially if you have cursed with golden armor. You can really get away from the zombies just like that. But to me, this almost feels like you're just kind of wasting time. And then again, right here, good shooting, but you're kind of jamming yourself up against the pack-a-punch. So I would try to find one specific area that's consistent that you can use over and over again, and you don't need to improvise as much, because you might be having a ton of fun just jumping off, or this might be panicky gameplay too. You might be terrified of getting hit all of this time, and so that's what makes you want to jump on everything and run around and do all of this bouncing off the walls shenanigans. And that was good slide into zombies. Like I said, your movement's doing really good here, but cutting back, going back and forth here, at least to me, that makes me feel always on my back foot. Again, that's good shooting lanes, but they're inconsistent. I think we've seen like 5 or 6 different shooting lanes in this entire gameplay. And as you saw, I think you went after an armor plate there. There was an armor plate over there that you wanted, but then you just used an armor plate, because I do think you have armormatic here. You just used an armor plate, or you use 2 armor plates actually to try and pick up one, so that didn't quite work. When you have a consistent strategy that you're not improvising as much with, you have consistent areas where you can find armor plates that you run over and over again. Now, luckily, you are killing zombies very effectively, and Brain Rot's helping you out here, so you are able to get armor plates back, but it feels inconsistent to me. This can absolutely work, and so many people love this type of running around. So if you love this, please don't listen to me. But if someone else is watching this and being like, okay, what do you have to say about this? That's what I would say. Try to find something a little bit more consistent where you can feel a little bit safer shooting and then running over those armor plates very consistently. But I will say, maybe throwing on a fireworks or a dead wire or even a napalm burst on a secondary weapon could be better in my opinion here, to make you kill the zombies a little bit faster, more efficiently, because you clearly have training down fairly well. Next up, we have a couple different examples of how I would classify to not deal with the Zursas here. Again, shout out to the people with the gameplay. Let's all be positive and kind to them for being vulnerable. And thank you guys so much for sending in some 1080p gameplay or 1440p as we saw in the last clip. It's helping quite a bit. But as we could see here, we have a little bit of a montage of what appears to be at least cursed tier 1. I'm not sure if it's any higher than that, but we have some secret melee macchiato strategy here that I'm not sure about. But we're at round 29 in Ashwood. We've got golden armor and we're up against a Zursa, and this is a little concerning to me. We're using a Pack-a-Punch 1 blue Akita. We have this purple pack 2, it looks like, pistol. I don't know. Yeah, purple pack 2 pistol. I believe this is the Jaeger 45s. Not sure if it's the spawn Jaegers or not, but by round 29, you should have enough for triple Pack-a-Punch, which you do. You have tons of points here, but you don't have triple Pack-a-Punch. I could tell you're on console with your aim, unfortunately, and boy, that's bold, isn't it? I know we're on round 29, so it's not that big of a deal, but going right up to this bear that just ate you or just bit you and then melee macchiatoing it, oh my goodness. Now, I know melee macchiato's pretty strong. I wish we had health bars and damage numbers and curse to like see how strong that was, but this right here, letting you get really close to you and not shooting it, you've got so much ammo here. I mean, look at all this time you could have been shooting it, except now you're like trying to melee. I think that beehive coming after you or horde of bees coming after you. Right here, what I would do, you throw a decoy and a C4 down, which is okay, but you then detonate the C4, and all of this time you could have been shooting the Zursa. You do eventually kill it. I'm not sure if you're doing like a melee macchiato challenge, because I think there's a couple melee macchiato challenges for melee punching Zursas and elites with melee macchiato. So that could very well be what this is, and I just don't understand it. Now here we are on round 31. We've upgraded. We have Pack-a-Punched our pistol to tier 3. We're still purple rarity though, which is a little concerning. Maybe you have the half salvage rate turned on, but at the start of round 31, you've got 3 decoys, a sentry gun, no dark flare unfortunately, but we do have another Zursa spawning in. And so you can see the Zursa here, and you're gonna run, you're gonna train, which is not bad movement. This is all pretty good. But then you're shooting the Zursa with your shotgun. That's Pack-a-Punch 1 blue. I don't know. I haven't seen what other guns you have. If it's just this one, I feel like that's just not well equipped for this Zursa. But I love the decoy here. Placing down the sentry gun though, here's where I have a problem. Just like earlier, you can see the theme of this video, when all of the zombies are spawned in, no zombies continue to spawn in. Once you hit that 40 limit, that's it. It's just 40 zombies and that's it. So if you had 40 zombies, you threw a decoy right here, all of the zombies are over here in that one area, and all you need to worry about is the Zursa. But because that sentry gun is there, you are now dealing with zombies that are respawning. And again, I'm not entirely sure what the C4s are for. Now we've got 2 Zursas because sometimes that happens, but look at all of these zombies respawning. It's not just because you left the area. Look at that. It's not just because you turned around and left the area. It's because that sentry gun killed that entire horde. The C4 killed the horde, and well, the game's spawning them back in. And look at how much harder this is. This is a great example. Now everywhere you go here is dangerous, as opposed to one big group of zombies there. So you're making yourself a good movement right there. Wall jumping out of that. Look at that. I love that cutback right there. That's actually really difficult move to do. And then jumping over that, that's good movement. That's really good. Great utilization trying to get out of that situation. But what I would do here, and especially, ooh, did we get that insta kill? Nice. Now I would just throw a decoy, and unfortunately you still got that sentry gun, but that decoy should distract zombies enough, and you must be going after a melee macchiato thing, unless there's like some secret strategy to melee macchiato dealing with Zursas that I don't know about, but that's what I would do. Luckily, you got that insta-kill and a dark flare to round it off, but I think your regular zombie / Zursa management could be improved a little bit. And let's see here. It does look like you have the salvage drop rate halved. Yeah, salvage drop rate halved, no mystery box, per cost machine. Okay, that's honestly not a bad set of relics. We are on tier 2 cursed. That salvage drop rate, man. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Again, this would be a situation where I would turn on enemy health regeneration, but I guess with how slow you killed the Zursas, maybe that wouldn't be the wise choice for you. Now, unfortunately, we cut to the middle of this round. I'm not sure the exact situation, but we're on round 42. We've got tons of points, legendary pistol now, triple Pack-a-Punch. That's all good. We don't have quad Pack-a-Punch. We don't have tier 4 because we're only in tier 2, which is fine. We don't have any decoys, no dark flares, and we've got a Zursa on us. So of course you want a war machine, but I think your mistake, or something you could learn from, came from before this clip even started. As soon as you got rid of your score streak, you should have already been thinking, okay, the next time a round flips, I'm going to run in here and get the war machine. And obviously it takes a little bit for you to get to support, go all the way down, read war machine, there you go. And luckily, I believe turtle shell saves you over here, taking out your score streak and killing the zombies here. So this was very lucky. Good job using that turtle shell against the Zursas there. That was good quick thinking. But like I said, now you've used that war machine, I would be thinking as soon as round 43 hits, that is exactly when I'm gonna go ahead and go get another war machine. And here we are on round 46. Again, we've edited out a couple rounds, but we've got a Zursa, we've got an Uber Klaus. I believe you've accidentally awakened the Uber Klaus here, and no kill streaks. And again, we're a little stuck here. I don't really know why you dove in this moment. This doesn't really feel like you need to dive other than just being a cool little action hero. But if we take a look at this, like you were wide open, like there was really no reason to like turn around. Like even if you wanted to turn around and shoot, like you could have done that without diving, you know? Maybe you were trying to slide, and then maybe the slide turned into a dive, because I know sometimes on console that could be a little bit dangerous, but unfortunately that happens. You got sniped a little bit by Uber Klaus, low on armor. Go ahead and armor plating that up, very good. But unfortunately, again, I feel like you might be ill-equipped. I feel like you do not have the right weapon for this occasion. I don't know if this is the spawn pistol, because I know the spawn Jaeger is actually pretty terrible in Cursed, or you got like the one, like your own zombie build out of the mystery box, I'm not sure, but this thing does not seem to be doing much against these elite enemies. And again, you don't have any decoys. I'm not sure if you're using them during normal gameplay. I would reserve your equipment and sort of the more helpful items like the kill streaks, the equipment, the field upgrades for the more grave situations, because the Zursa is definitely something that you need to take seriously, and saving the decoys, the Casimirs, the field upgrades for those is absolutely the right choice. Now, you're going to make a mistake here that I don't think many people realize. Like, this trap does attract zombies, but it has a radius to it. It has a range, and unfortunately, the crafting table is outside of that range. And of course, you're going after what I believe to be another war machine. And just unfortunately, you either didn't know that the trap had a range, or you didn't know you didn't have enough salvage for the war machine. But I think you would have gone down whether or not you purchased that or not. And unfortunately, I do think your movement might be a little bit less than what I would say is advisable for round 46. I know there was a lot of zombies just then, so I'm not going to pick on you too much, but I imagine you're using those decoys during normal gameplay and getting rid of them because you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Now, if you want to be near this trap, this is where you sit. And of course, unfortunately, you've got the Uber Klaus, you've got the bear there. I think you're just running them through that, and then you run away. I imagine you feel pretty overwhelmed, even on round 40, whatever. I think you don't have the weapon you need. I think you don't have the equipment you need. And I suspect maybe your movement or your training could be a little bit more consistent, because I think that might be where your decoys are going. And unfortunately, I don't know why you do this, because I think you're waiting here. I'm not sure why you've decided to not go there, but again, if you just take a little bit of a look, you're looking right here, I imagine, but then coming over here, instead of transporting, you make the decision to jump with all of these zombies here and them over there. That's bad decision making, unfortunately, and it does cost you. But hey, this is you early on your zombies journey. There's a lot of mechanics to play with. You've still got a lot to learn. You've got great things. Like I said, this movement earlier here was very impressive. It's just decision making and figuring out, here's where the big picture. Which tools are the best solutions to which problem? When there is a Zursa, what's the most consistent way of handling it? When I am going up against regular zombies, what are the best ways of going up against them? And then how do I preserve my Casimirs, my war machines for those specific situations? But I appreciate this gameplay, lots to learn. And now this gameplay, unfortunately, is not that high of a quality because it's ripped straight from Discord, but I think this one is also very valuable. We're at round 94. We're at round 94. This is an incredibly respectable and skillful round to get on, and I think there's just a couple things, a couple tweaks you can make, before you can actually reach to that round 100. How heartbreaking was that to see right off the bat here? But let's take a look at this because I think there's some minor things that make major differences. First things first, we hear a Zursa. I love the use of a Casimir. We're on tier 4 cursed, golden armor, ultra rarity, Pack-a-Punch tier 4 with the right in 45, great SMG, lots of good damage. We're going to throw a Casimir and we're going to throw it away from the zombies. Now, I think that's a little bit of a mistake. I don't think it's terrible, depending on the situation, but something that really could help you is if that Casimir was nearby this Zursa, because Casimirs deal insane damage to Zursas, that if you pair it up with a regular weapon, I have never had a problem throwing down a Casimir using a regular bullet weapon and killing a Zursa every time, even on health cap. Especially if you manage to get the Zursa to do, I believe it was this animation right here when you break off a beehive, right there, boom, that animation, that stunned animation. If you could do that while it's being damaged by the Casimir, oh, it does such good damage and it's so safe. Unfortunately, the second mistake that I'm sure you're very well aware that you've made, you thought you had way more time on this Casimir than you actually did. Here's the Casimir, here it's active, and this is just something you've got to learn. You've got to learn the cadence, you've got to learn just how long the monkey bombs are, you got to learn how long the Casimirs are. You were shooting for way too long, and because the Casimir was so far away from this big group of zombies, what happened was, for as powerful as the Casimir is, it is very slow at pulling in the zombies. So it's very slow at pulling in the zombies. You have this big group of zombies here, and oop, it didn't kill all of them because it was so far away. Now you're trapped with this horde of zombies around you. And unfortunately, that's where that leads to. So that one decision of where you put that Casimir could have changed entirely. Now, I'm also going to point out here, I'm so sorry, but there's just so much good information here. This is great. You're using Brain Rot on this, which I love because that's the elemental weakness of Zursa. But with this SMG, SMGs are amazing if you are pretty close. So on top of this, like where I would throw the Casimir with the Zursa, I would be sort of like within 5 meters or so of the Zursa, because that's where the bonus damage range of the SMG usually starts. It depends on the attachments, it depends on the SMG, but being this far away from the Zursa, you're in the normal damage range, which if I'm being honest, it's not that great for SMGs. In fact, let me show you here with the DPS spreadsheet. Here we have our close quarter damage, and here we have our average damage, our normal damage. Now, the Ryan 45k is still pretty darn good, right? 100,000 DPS. That's awesome. I know for cursed, it's going to be about double that. So the exact numbers aren't like applicable here. We're just talking about relationally. But if you were in that close quarter damage, you would have gotten a whole other like 50% bonus damage in that close range. Look at that, 157,000 DPS versus 100,000. So if you really wanted to just shred through the Zursas, you would get a little bit closer. I know that's a little bit more dangerous, but I think combined with the closer throw of the Casimir and the stunning of the Zursa, I think that could have helped you here. Love that clip. Lots of good tips and tricks there. Very good job. And as a complete contrast to what we just said, we're gonna throw down this Casimir right here. And as you can see, that does kill all of the zombies right there. So now you can see it is just you and Zursa. So this is a great situation to be in. And of course you were getting close. You do want to respect Zursa, so I don't mind sitting back a little bit. Again, that Ryan is pretty darn consistent with damage, so you managed to kill him very well there. But the next thing, and it's a tiny thing, and I apologize again for the quality, I think I would recommend just uploading to YouTube the highest quality you can, because apparently Discord's footage is not going to be that great. But very similar to the first, or really second, clip that we watched today, it seems as though you might not have a consistent path to run. And so I might be in the business of pointing out training spots again, because I don't think people cover it anymore. So like, of course you might not have a consistent thing. By the way, great job at taking out that doppelgas, taking your time, letting it run after you, not panicking. That was brilliant. But like, people don't make training strategies anymore. People don't make here's where to run all the time consistently. So I think that might be a type of video that I delve back into, because clearly I think it could help out a whole bunch of people. And again, using the trap here to distract the zombies, that's really good. Mark II, I think is really good. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's solid enough to take out a Zursa. But again, this is where that consistent train might not be kind of implanted into the back of your head, I guess, or the forefront of your brain. And unfortunately, we're going to be running around here. We're going to fail to pick up ammo. We're going to be hit from the back quite a bit. And unfortunately, we go down. Now, I want to show you, because I think this was just again, a very minor mistake of decision making, but really target priority, because we jump down, we have the ray gun Mark II. We've got plenty of ammo here, except, you know what? Dang it. You know what happened? Oh my goodness. I think, is this the mule kit glitch? Because that ray gun Mark II is gray rarity. Look at that. That might just be the low quality, but that might be why you didn't want to use that ray gun Mark II. So could be eating my words here. That's actually a really important piece of information. Wow. But dang, that is unfortunate. I thought that could only happen with your third weapon. But what I was gonna say is that you have a little bit of ammo here. That's fine. You're taking a little bit of damage. It's whatever. I'm not really worried about anything until we get to about right here. We have one Ravager and a Zursa. Now that Ravager is actually really fast, and he is just biting your armor. Unfortunately, you don't buy that fast enough. I think that's a console thing, but that Ravager shreds your armor here. And I think you hear that and you go, dang it, now I need to kill that Ravager, or now I need to kill that super sprinter. And unfortunately, you backpedal, and obviously there is a zombie spawning right in front of you, a couple zombies spawning right in front of you. And so that doesn't give you that much time. What I would have done is one of two things. One, obviously we need to prioritize this Ravager because it seems to be giving us our biggest headache. So either use the Mark II, or you do have a Tomahawk combat axe we could use. Even though I know the combat axing a Ravager can be pretty difficult. But as soon as I failed this and I hear the armor break, I think, okay, I need to slide and get away from them and just get away as fast as we can. I would have slid into this zombie, because if you slide into zombies, it knocks them down, which protects you a little bit. And so even if I get hit from behind, it shouldn't be too bad. But unfortunately, this zombie does hit you. And I think a zombie from I guess a zombie from both directions here, because I think we've got some spawning over here. I think we've got one here that's jumping over that eventually hits you, right? Yeah. And then maybe this guy. So unfortunately, that is just brutal way to go. But this is what zombies is, though. It's these tiny decisions. It's these moments that can all crumble down. That's what zombies has always been. And it's really good to see high round strategies holding players accountable like this. I love it. But again, round 94, congratulations, great use of your Casimirs, except for that first one, of course, but it seems as though you are using it just for the Zursas, because you had a couple ready to go, so that was really good. Also, I forgot to mention, your Ether Shroud was not charging here, so I don't know if that was just a bug or glitch, or like you used it so frequently that it couldn't charge anymore, which I'm not sure if is a thing anymore, but it really should be charging, so that is unfortunate. But now for our grand finale, we have Human Misery versus the Horrors Beyond Comprehension, aka Veytharion round 100 on Cursed. Shout out Chromosoma. This is a beautiful gameplay. I'm so excited. When I first saw this, my goodness, I was hooting and hollering so much. Now this is, again, round 101, Cursed tier 3 boss fight. Last episode of this, I went over the fact that a lot of people are just using the gauntlet for this, as well as the hard mode calling card. Really want to see if I can do that in a future video. But the number one thing I think I need to learn, and what a lot of us need to learn about this boss fight, and that we can learn so brilliantly from here, is what do you do when Tessie gets destroyed? This is something that is going to happen at round 100. It's going to happen in the hard mode. It's going to happen in cursed boss fights. It's going to happen so much. And Chromosoma does an excellent job of remaining calm and making sure he is safe to repair Tessie. And believe me, there's a ton of stuff before this that I could talk about, but I want to keep this video relatively short here. But look at that. That's probably my worst case scenario. We've got this grid pattern of explosives here. Great job staying in there, trying to dodge them a little bit here and there. But then unfortunately, bam, some zombies there. But he doesn't panic. He doesn't immediately throw his Casimir. He throws it quickly. But as soon as Tessie explodes, we kind of wait, we adjust, we look at what's going on. and then we see an opening. We avoid the missiles, and now we've got an opening. Great, missiles are done. Let's throw down a Casimir here and repair Tessie. Now, this is a big thing. Look around as you're repairing Tessie. I love the fact that you could do this. I hate zombie games where you can't do this in this animation, but look around. Where are the missiles coming from? Where's Veytharion? Where are the zombies? Okay, we're all good. Let's get back in Tessie and head on out. Now, unfortunately, we get hit with like a double missile here. Right there, we hit Veytharion and we take a little bit of damage from a missile. And again, this is part of your mentality that you have to have. Tessie's gonna break. Tessie is gonna get damaged. Yes, you can use these healing orbs for a little bit here, but eventually, probably really soon, Tessie is just gonna take so much damage, so make sure you're utilizing those Casimirs. You're giving yourself enough time to be safe first. I think we've got another Tessie right here. You can see they try boosting out of the way here. We're gonna try to damage Veytharion, and boom, unfortunately there. Now we're running away, checking our surroundings, remaining calm. Okay, we're good. The Veytharion is spinning, so we're really safe. Just throw down a Casimir, and then boom, we've got Tessie repaired. Very, very good. We're going to use this. I do want to point out there is a setting on PC where you can switch back to your previous seat instead of going through all of the seats. But also I've heard people say that you could just get out and then get back in to get back in the driver's seat really fast. So great couple points there, great couple tips there. But again, we get hit by a couple missiles right away. So Tessie is, again, ultimately damaged really quickly. Picking up that purple beam heals her a little bit, so that kind of helped there with that last missile strike. And then boom, right here, we do a great job hitting Veytharion, throwing a Casimir, make us safe, take out the death machine. Boom, there we go. We know we're going to use or get ourselves max ammos right away, so that's why you could throw your Casimirs there, because at the end of every phase, you get refreshed on your Casimir. So again, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. But we are now in the third and final phase. There's our max ammo. And now, if you don't know, you need to boost into Veytharion in order to cancel his laser attack. So we're going to try to heal a little bit more. And this blew my mind. This blew my mind of what you did here, because this is genius. I don't know, this is probably the strategy and I'm just stupid, but we boost into Veytharion, and while our boost is recharging, why not just deal some extra damage to Veytharion, right? Now, obviously it doesn't happen right now because we use our boost here, but look at this, look at this. This situation isn't looking good, right? We boost into Veytharion here. We have Tessie low on health. We get this barnacle, we get a little bit more health. We've got missiles coming in. We've got Zursa right there. We're probably gonna get destroyed. And I think right here, that decision, that realization is made, and this laser is going to attack us. So what do? Do we try to hold out? Do we try to attack him? No. We boost across the way, get out of the way of the missiles, and go behind cover. That is so good. That is one of the best decisions that I think I've seen anybody make in this boss fight. Now we've got Zursa here. There's an extra Casimir we threw down, which is really good, but Zursa hits us a little bit. I think we got like some missiles in here. I don't know. I felt like this was pretty cheap looking at it, but yes, Zursa does a lot of damage. I think that laser does a lot of damage when it's facing you. I think that's what that major hit was. And then we have another missile attack right here. So I think unfortunately Dying Wish popped. Luckily we armor up a little bit. We kind of recover because that Casimir is really good. We killed that Zursa. We're gonna boost into Veytharion, and I think this is where what I really like about it. You know, while our boost is charging, why not? Why not do extra damage, right? Like, come on. Now, obviously you could dodge missiles here, but it seems as though he's so comfortable with repairing Tessie. Who cares if Tessie breaks again? We're just gonna not boost into here or wait for the boost to recharge here and deal some extra damage. Now our boost is ready to go. Bam, there we go. Look at how much damage we just did. This is so darn good. Now, again, Tessie's about to break, so let's kind of be in a little bit of safe area. We're gonna boost again, and look at that. Not freaking out, not like running around or anything, just taking in, okay, what's around us? Let's do this. Okay. Unfortunately, I think this is one of those times. Yeah, we throw a Casimir, and unfortunately, Veytharion takes Tessie. I think you can shoot Tessie out of Veytharion, but you still need to repair Tessie. So this is a little bit of a predicament. And look at that. Again, another brilliant decision. Look at this. So Tessie's over there. We want to repair it. Boom. We see this red outline. Nope, never mind. We'd rather live. This is a great decision. And another one. Back to back great decisions. Let's freaking go. We're gonna repair Tessie. No, we're not. Oh my goodness, the laser's firing at us. Hey, what stops the laser? Ether Shroud. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And now the Ether Shroud can help me repair Tessie. Isn't that so good? Oh my goodness. Let's go. And now we're back in a full health Tessie. We've got the laser building up again. We're going to smash it again. Again, trying to dodge as best we can. We're not going to be greedy. We're not going to be greedy and go every time while we're waiting for a boost, just when we can. Boost again. If we get a clean shot, we'll go twice, but not forcing anything, reacting as well as we can. There's an extra little bonus there. And then our boost should be almost ready by the time we turn around. There we go. Oh, you love it. You love to see it. This is so efficient. We get some more missiles. Tessie's getting close to being repaired. So we're thinking, okay, where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Well, we got the laser charge, right? So we're going to boost. We could stop them. Very nice. And I believe we're going to sit really, or we're going to kind of go around those barriers or those columns there, because I think we're anticipating Tessie breaking, but we want to be by these barriers, right? So we're over here. Great. Throw down a Casimir and repair Tessie, but we still got the charged shot coming. So of course, repair Tessie, but look at where we're at. The movement, the positioning is so good. And now we're behind the pillar. We don't gotta worry about Zursa. We're popping a cash back for some more Casimirs just in case. Tessie's taken again. That's okay. Avoiding the missiles. Of course, they still deal quite a bit of damage, but we're still running with our knife out, with the gauntlet out, really good. We've got Casimirs. We needed that max ammo. There is a max ammo here, but you need the gauntlet, and that takes a lot of time and patience, but really, really dangerous. I think that laser either misses us, / I think Turtle Shell blocks a lot of this laser here, because this got me biting my nails here. Either this is like a limit to how far it could go right here on the corner, or we just turn ourselves here. And yeah, I think the laser is going into Turtle Shell. So if you are this close to Tessie, absolutely have Turtle Shell tank that and then go into Tessie, and right away we're going to boost to get away from that laser attack and just deal some extra damage. Very, very close. That was probably the most nerve-wracking part of this entire boss fight. And we're gonna rinse and repeat. We're gonna boost again right there. We're very, very close. We're gonna pick up this green health barnacle, turn around here. Again, our boost isn't ready, but we're just gonna deal some extra damage to Veytharion while we're waiting for our boost to charge up, which it already is now. And then boom, there we go. And Veytharion is in the immune phase already. That extra damage, I think, helped out a ton. Now all we got to do is we just got to go over here. Tessie's going to heal a little bit. We got to go boost right into Veytharion. Very nice. Throw down a Casimir one final time. Take out your death machine. And bam, round 101. Tier 3 cursed Veytharion boss fight. I'm at the edge of my seat. How about you? I absolutely loved these clips. Really, really high round gameplay, great boss fight, great strategies against the Zursa. I love this series. I hope you guys do too. Again, please be kind to everybody's gameplay. We're all learning zombies. We're all trying to get better. No one's a finished product, and I absolutely loved the tips that I was able to give with this one. And let them know in the comments what other tips and tricks that I missed. And once again, join that Discord. And I will say, maybe specifically say, Donuts, could you please review this in the chat? Because sometimes people post videos there and I don't know if they want me to react to them or not. And if you enjoyed this video, I have great news, because this is not the first one that I've done. If you want to see more tips and tricks on your gameplay, including the Caltheris boss fight and even Black Ops 3 Zombies tips, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.